Welcome to the Benz Night Show. It is the 27th of October 2020. We are now on our 29th episode number 29. Sorry, magigsunan kay kani atong okay. So it's the 29th episode of the Benz Night Show. Welcome. And I hope ready mo din ha. And I know it's a rainy night. It's a cold night. Salamat sa iyong pag-iguban ka nako. I know that you can be anywhere. You can be watching Netflix. You could be watching CNN. You could be watching all the channels, movies, YouTube, Facebook. But if you're with me, salamat kayo. Salamat kayo. And please also go to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and of course in our YouTube channel makaigsunan pwede sad mo dito mo post of messages. I know member na mo sa Facebook. Okay. So salamat kayo. And tonight I hope I will be able to update little things with you. Yeah. Ungat ta sa atong update sa weather sa tong world time karon maray mga oras sa New York, sa Los Angeles, sa London ug sa Tokyo. Sa New York ron is 9:09 AM. Sa Los Angeles it's 6 saan siya 6:09 sa AM. Unya sa London, of course, it's 1:09 PM. Og sa Tokyo, they're 1 hour ahead. It's 10:09 PM. Okay, so follow mo ang weather for tonight, for today. Now, kanatong gipost nila ang weather that is live directly from Pag-asa. So, at this hour, hourly na siya. If you can view it at a much larger screen. So, 21 PM, that's 9 AM. Kita na to, that's 10:56 Celsius. So it is interact with that one. That's green. So pen. Alright, so 3. Kung makita nyo magkaigsunan dire, oh. Oh, sorry. Oh, 9 p.m. it's 26 Celsius, but it's raining. Okay, about tonight, temperature will be 26 Celsius until midnight, and then after midnight it will be 25 degrees Celsius and then 26, and so throughout the night we'll be expecting rain. Okay, you can see the person in work. So I'm gonna tong time, and then salamat sa pag-iguban ka nako karon. Si Brian Pasilan, Mercy Alivio, Batulan Gilmar, o si Shirley Chua. Salamat sa pag-iguban ka nako kaigsoon. And I hope okay na ni siya ang atong points from John Hopkins. Okay. Right, so let's go to our update. Some kung naong na nawa man. John Hopkins, GHU. Yes. Yeah, ano, I also put in word okay, so ngarita makiigsanan kay atong ayay. Ano man siya? Dako mo kayo. Too big, that's it. Alright. So, ang atong kalisod ba? Ang atong cases worldwide, akong gincircle na di, 43,587,563, or that's about 43.6 million worldwide. 56 million worldwide. O ang atong global deaths, 1,160,960. That is too much. Okay, that is too much. Grabe na kaya. Tanang sana ito bali mag okay, sound yun na. Nag-mix. Okay na. Only nag-background noise. So 1.1, roughly 1.2 million dead by a single illness in so short a time. Grabe na siya, no? And makarealize ta nga kuan gid ta kitang mga humans, we are fragile. We only use our intellect to save ourselves, to save our species. No? Okay, so mana siya ang atong so manibantay nga numbers as I will. Okay, klaro ba? So I'm sharing my screen with you in OBS. Din na zoom. Okay, so if we go to the United States, see the new numbers now on your screen. 8,705,340 ang United States. O ang deaths sa United States, 225,739. We're talking about 7 days or 8 days left to their election. Will they have a new president? Or will Trump be re-elected? Ano importante din ang pagkatanaw na ito. So, will there be a new president in the United States, or will Trump be re-elected? Okay. So, muna ang cases sa United States karon, 8.7 million with 225,000 deaths. Makita din sa mapa, makita red kaayo, no? Ang mapa. Okay. Ngari man ta sa kilid, mura magning kuan ra kay ta. Dako. Ato yung Osborne na, mura dako ra kay ni atong ta sa kilid ba gamay. Share screen. Okay. Ngari mo kita tadapit. Kay paubos ta. Okay. So, ngari kita sa ang Philippines may nakagrabe, oh. Ngayon sa Philippines, makaitsunan, buhatan na ito na circle ang Philippines. Handwritten lang niyo. Cases, kunya, deaths in the Philippines. So, muna yung pagkatanawan ninyo. Sa UN, sa world, there's still data there. Okay, so 373,144 in the Philippines. That means we have nothing to show for a lockdown, and 7,053 deaths. If we compare that to our favorite countries who did not have a shutdown like we did not shut down their public transportation, did not shut down their businesses, manufacturing, except those like leisure and pubs. In Japan, we have 98,132 cases with 1,724 deaths. Only 1,000 only. In Philippines is 600% more. Now, if we go to Singapore, Singapore now has, if you look at the cursor here, 57,980 cases. And their deaths still only 28. 57,080 cases and still their deaths only 28. That's Singapore. Next is South Korea. South Korea have 26,043 cases. Only 26,000 cases. And they have only 460 deaths. South Korea, humana. Japan, humana. Taiwan na lang. Taiwan, they had 550 deaths, 550 deaths, 550 cases only in Taiwan and 7 deaths despite their high population density. Grabe na. Ngayon na itong, I don't know, but I've been saying for such a long time that we need to learn from these countries. So, magiging tayo learn. Alright, so mana siya. Tanawon ko na nato ang Philippines, ha? Let's try to take a look at some data from the Philippines. We're able to open it. Ini siya. PDF files. Where are you, PDF? Okay, tingita sa ta. Tara to ning Philippines, so gato ba ning Marikaya? Okay. Let's look at the PDF files. Window. Where? Acrobat. Okay, mana lagi din na sabi. Okay. So look at the files. Okay, so these are the Philippine cases. I'm using, by the way, I'm using a tablet here. And this is the pen. And this is the tablet. Drawing tablet. This is the pen. So I'm using a tablet. So I hope this will work out okay. Tanaw na ito ni maka-kuhan ba taan eh? If you can draw something. So, ang total cases is actually here 367,000. Klaro ba? 367,819. And this is October 24. Pamiliawahin mo lang yung data nila eh. Sa kuan ilang mga PDF files. Total deaths 6,934 and these are all data with them. 6,000 actual active cases here. Active cases of that of the active cases 83.37% are mild and 11.4% are asymptomatic and only 1.8% are severe. Okay. So ato na siya clear out old man day pang data sir kaangay nga na din clear. balik tayo sa Johns Hopkins. Sa Johns Hopkins atong tanan o Sweden, kay kani maging Sweden kuan magini, naghambog gini Sweden nga kuan. Sweden, there are 110 cases. There are 110 cases in Sweden. And they have 5,933 deaths. So, on Philippines, 300,000. Can you imagine that? And despite all of those lockdowns, makikita. Uy, wala na tumata na itong favorite nga I'm using a pen, ha? Kini. Kini. Sana to. Pen is mightier than the mouse. Okay, mani Hong Kong siguro. Okay, Macau. There, Hong Kong. Hong Kong is here, and you cannot see it. There are only 5,300 cases in Hong Kong with 105 deaths. 105 deaths. So, kung imo nang i-compare, makaigsunan sa Pilipinas or even sa Sweden, grabe kayo. So, kung i-compare din ha. Okay. So, may sa Hong Kong. Di pa kayo ko maka-estimate sa distances sa kuan. So that's 5,308 cases sa Hong Kong with 105 deaths. That's cases. Maka-estimate sa mga distances. Okay. Now, ngarita sa coronaviruses, sa CNN ni makaigsunan nga website, ako lang ipakita ninyo latest sa pandemic. Dunya sa ilang headlines. Ilang headlines, oh. Headlines sa website sa CNN. The US is close to having exponential spread in some areas, and the hardest part may still be ahead, matod pa sa former FDA o saka former FDA official. Okay. Grabe na ha. O ang Australia's where are you? So, ang Australia's Victoria State reports no new COVID-19 cases for a second day in a row. Okay, that's very good news, huh? That's very good news. That's very good news. Next is si Vice President Pence. Si Vice President Mike Pence skips public health recommended self-quarantine but thus changes plans after an outbreak. So, mana siya yung mga siya yung mga headlines sa CNN ang websites. And I'm using my tablet, drawing tablet. ta sa okay. So now we're back to kumusta naman mo diya? Sa atong chatroom, si Kimbro, si Oni Alvarazin, gikan sa Argao, si Maria Macaraya, watching from Talisay, si Felipe Menusa from Lisonville, Talamban, si Batulan Gilmer, Brian Pasilan, Marcel Livio, Shirley Chua. Salamat yung pag-unaw na ko karong gabi una mga kaigsoon. Muna akong screen karon tanawa, kuan kayo. Gubot kaya akong screen, di ba? So look at my screen na diri. Diri mga kuan, mga dates. Yeah. Kini diri mo ni ang akong software sa OBS. Kini nga portion diri mo ni ang kuan diri ang mapa, yung chat room na diri. So gubot kayo, no? Gubot kayo. That's how my screen looks like. Ano maglibog ko asa na mo dapit. Okay, clear. Okay. Nakatagi pang add nga production values little by little. Research lang ba ta? Tagamay. Okay. Improve tagamay. Small improvement. Og si Luz Sagritalo naminaw from Mingdanilia, Ward 3. Sa laing mga balita, mga kaigsunan, mga protesters dito sa Italy nag-clash with police tungod sa gitawag nato og restrictions, no? Restrictions sa ilang kuan, sa ilang movements. And 54 million Americans kuno are growing hungry. And oil companies aren't out of the woods yet. So, paano ang mga oil companies? Reality bites for Putin's much-hyped COVID-19 vaccine as concerns over efficacy and safety linger. And Belgium was on the brink of disaster as coronavirus surge fills up the ICU beds. Kaya kanimo mga kuan na, dagan na sila mga old citizens, kaya dugay mo sila mga matay, kaya may mga healthcare dito. So mo dali sila masakit sa COVID. Ita. El Paso, Texas issues curfew to help curb COVID-19 as cases surge and hospitals reach full capacity. And the pandemic has created a second crisis in India, the rise of child trafficking. Dito sa El Paso, Texas, ang mga funeral homes prepare refrigerated units to house bodies as COVID-19 cases in the Texas city soar. Ang Minnesota nag-reports of 3 COVID-19 outbreaks related to the Trump campaign events in September. Ayay, mag-outbreak sa Minnesota tungod to silang related sa ilang kang Trump ng mga rally. Ang stocks miubos as the Corona-19 cases surge and stimulus is nowhere to be found. Paitan eh. Ang Wall Street took a dive kagahapon as coronavirus Washington intransigence and earnings weighed on the market. All of this is creating a cocktail of uncertainty that the market doesn't like one bit. Yung stocks sold off all day kagahapon from the opening to the closing bell, and the sell-off just gathered pace during the trading session. By the way, mo pa pag-open sa market na naroon. The Dow Jones Index closed 650 points or 2.3% kadako after falling as many as 965 points at its low point. All Dow stocks closed in the red except Apple, which eked out 0.1% gain, which is also very small. It was the worst day of the Dow index since September 3. Of course, kanang index makaigsanan is just a group of stocks. Dili na ang all stocks kay ang mga dakong stocks ay ibutang sa index. The Standard & Poor's 500, the broadest measure of the US stock markets, closed down 1.9%, making it the index's worst day since late September. Ang technology-heavy na Nasdaq Composite Index, which had briefly bounced back from its lows in the morning, finished down low also with 1.6%. That was yesterday. So karon mag-open pang market. Dito sa Utah, ang mga Mormons daghan dito. Utah hospitals could start rationing healthcare at overwhelmed facilities, matod pa silang hospital association. Saya hindi ka ma. A drop in non-coronavirus hospitalizations suggests people are skipping key medical care. So kato kanang dili coronavirus ng mga cases ning drop ko no, that means ang mga tao wa na mahadlok sad sila mo to hospital siguro. This 12-year-old is happy to be testing a COVID-19 vaccine. O sa ka 12-year-old may apil. Pero po yun, ha? Sus, kining kang Trump nga vaccine, saan na lang ni. Ang hackers na blackmail sa mga Finland psychotherapy patients following a data breach. Kuya, wari itong mga bank information. Akat ko lang itong information. Election information. Grabe ito. Episode. Hindi bang atong pag-handle ani nga kuan gid sayop. Ako ning gi-mention kaganina sa akong program, but Jack Ma is making history again with the Ant IPO, maniyang financial arm, and getting even more wealthy while doing it. So 34.5 billion US dollars raised today sa Hong Kong o sa Shanghai. Grabe na. Ang British study nagpakita o waning immunity to COVID-19. Ayay, magawa di ay. A study of hundreds of thousands of people across England suggests immunity to the coronavirus is gradually wearing off, at least according to one measure. Researchers who sent out home fingerprint tests to more than 365,000 randomly selected people in England. Money, random selection. Mano ang gipangayo sa una pa. Found a more than 26% decline in COVID-19 antibodies over just 3 months. We observe a significant decline in the proportion of the population with detectable antibodies over 3 rounds of national surveillance using a self-administered lateral flow test 12, 18, and 24 weeks after the first peak of infections in England. This is consistent with evidence that immunity to seasonal coronaviruses declines over 6 to 12 months after infection. An emerging data on the SARS-CoV-2 that also detected a decrease over time in antibody levels in individuals followed in longitudinal studies. Ay pasabot ani magkaigsunan katong rapid test mamo to antibody test. Kung paste ko sa antibody, di ka nga i-isolate na sayop man itong atong gobyerno ato. Ano man taon to? Kung positive ka sa antibody, sabot na kay antibody. Wa na kay problema, naayo na ka. But, ang imong antibody, mag-anam mo kagamay over 6 to 12 months, so ma-lower ang imong immunity. So, it's possible nga matakdan sa kagbalik sa coronavirus. So, ayaw na. Ambot lang. Ayaw pang sa vaccine. Because the cure is already here. Ano na? Ano pag-watch vaccine? Okay, si Irene Vilvar, namino na to. Si Abit Ejercito from Sudlon. Si Margaret Malinaw, watching from Banawa. O si Wilson Herrera. Again, if you can, you go to YouTube, nga ito mo view sa YouTube para nasa tayo YouTube views. Okay. Of course, ang breaking news karong adlaw magkaigsunan kaninang buntag is nalibag-ong justice sa United States Supreme Court just 8 days before election. So much so that one of the Republican senators voted with the Democrats against Justice Amy Barrett. Kaya kuan ko no, it's not supposed to be that way nga too close to an election niya ma-appoint ka og justice. Sige na lang sa kanta nila. Okay. So na ang antibodies nimo maubos over time against coronavirus. Right, so minsan na may updates ron sa clinical trials mga kaigsunan. sa COVID-19 nga mga cases. Tag mga research nga ang kakuanan ninyo. Fresh. Na yung mga cases, the prevalence of antibodies, o bago ni siya ni kasa study vacation na the prevalence of antibodies to SARS-CoV-2 in healthy blood donors in New York. Okay, so antibodies to SARS-CoV-2, that means ang rapid test net for antibodies, no? An abstract, despite the high level of morbidity and mortality worldwide, there is increasing evidence of asymptomatic carriers of novel coronavirus SARS-CoV-2. And in this study, matod pa nila, we analyzed blood specimens from 1,559 healthy blood donors collected in the greater New York metropolitan area between the months of March and July 2020 for antibodies to the SARS-CoV-2 virus. Using our proprietary technology, itawag og SERA, Serum Epitope Repertoire Analysis, we observed a significant increase in SARS-CoV-2 seropositivity rates over the 4 months period from 0% in March to 11.6% in July. Follow-up ELISA tests using S1 and nucleocapsid viral proteins confirmed most of these results. Our findings are consistent with seroprevalence studies within the region and with reports that SARS-CoV-2 infections can be asymptomatic or cause only mild symptoms. Importance: the COVID-19 pandemic caused by the novel coronavirus SARS-CoV-2 has caused vast morbidity and mortality worldwide, yet studies indicate that there may be a significant number of infected people who are asymptomatic or exhibit mild symptoms in this study. Samples were collected from healthy blood donors in a region of rapidly increasing disease burden, and we hypothesized that a subset could be seropositive to SARS-CoV-2. People experience mild or no symptoms during SARS-CoV-2 infection may represent a source for convalescent plasma. So, ilan ang sabotan nila, nag-testing sila 1,559 healthy blood donors, pero ilang nabantayan na sila positively sila for coronavirus. No, positive for the antibody. Wala na coronavirus, but positive for the antibody for the coronavirus. So these are people with symptomatic or mild symptoms, and that's the big problem there. Can say symptomatic or dili, but they are also carriers. Remember, they are also carriers. And then paano sila karon o sa silang study, importance silang studies, they could be a source for convalescent plasma donors. But by the way, convalescent plasma is not necessarily life-saving. Not necessarily life-saving. No? Dili pa kay conclusive or gamay ra iyang effect. Dagan ng mareklamo ang mga studies na. So, Napoy study nga trying to answer the question, could nutrition modulate COVID-19 susceptibility and severity of disease? Sa ni ka systematic review ang ilang ang background sa mga study, many nutrients have powerful immunomodulatory actions with the potential to alter susceptibility to COVID-19 infection, progression to symptoms, likelihood of severe disease, and survival. The pandemic has fostered many nutrition-related theories, sometimes backed by a biased interpretation of evidence. Objectives among kining study to provide a systematic review of the latest evidence on how malnutrition across all forms may influence both susceptibility and progression and severity of COVID-19. Methods nila. We synthesize information on 13 nutrition-related components and their potential interaction with COVID-19. Overweight, obesity, diabetes, protein, energy malnutrition, anemia, vitamins A, C, D, and E, polyunsaturated fatty acids, iron, selenium, zinc, antioxidants, and nutritional support. Okay, conclusions nila. To date, there is no conclusive evidence supporting adoption of novel nutritional therapies. However, given the known impacts of all forms of malnutrition, the immune system, public health strategies to reduce micronutrient deficiencies, and undernutrition remain of critical importance. There is strong evidence that prevention of obesity and its consequent type 2 diabetes will reduce the risk of serious COVID-19 outcomes. So in other words, nutrition, di pa ko siya makakuan yun directly related sa COVID-19. No? But, ingon silang conclusion na maging known impacts ang malnutrition to the immune system. So, mas mayo kung na makuhaan po tag nutrition para ma-minimize ang impact of any disease. Manay istorya niya. So, di klaro. So, wadi way klaro. Parang gyapon istorya nga tagtanang mga nutritious, mga pagkaon o sa rin niya. Okay, anyway, salamat yung pag-iguban ka na kung makaigsunan. It's already bit na atong time. Namatay di ay magkaigsunan October 25th ang head sa Samsung Electronics. Yung anak ron mo may mipuli. Sorry. We have sa US $114 million Whistleblowers Award. So, naman tayo whistleblowers sa Pilipinas. So, may klaro gyapon. Sabot-saboton gyapon nila. Okay. So, thank you and good night. This is JT Benz sa atong October 27, 2020, episode 29 sa The JT Benz Night Show. Thank you for being with me. Kumusta mo ba na kinsay enjoy na to lately si Ed Casquejo. Shout out ko ni Ayan Martin Reyes from Canada. Namina deres Ayan ha. Ayan Martin Reyes from Canada. Ed Casquejo. And si Rebecca Go Monaris. Salamat sa pagpaminaw ninyo. Okay. Ano ba na Ayan? Eli Casquejo. Ed naman Eli Casquejo. Okay. So, thank you and good night. Episode 29 of the JT Benz Night Show, October 27, 2020. Bye.